The Unseen Pursuer. On a cold, moonless night in the heart of winter, Emily found herself on the desolate streets of Oldtown, her breath forming clouds in the freezing air. The evening had begun with laughter and light. Friends gathered at a local pub to celebrate her new job. But as the night wore on, Emily decided to make her way home, cutting through the narrow, cobblestone streets of the historic district, a shortcut she had taken countless times before. Tonight, however, the familiar path felt different. The gas lamps that lined the street flickered and cast elongated shadows that danced across the ancient buildings, creating a tapestry of light and dark that played tricks on her eyes. A sense of unease settled over Emily, a feeling that she was not alone. Her pace quickened, the click of her heels on the cobblestones echoing off the walls. That's when she heard it, a second set of footsteps, mirroring her own, but heavier, more deliberate. She glanced over her shoulder, her heart skipping a beat, but the street behind her was empty. Emily told herself it was just her imagination, the eerie atmosphere of Oldtown getting the better of her. But the footsteps persisted, growing louder, closer, as if the very shadows were coming alive to chase her. Panic surged through Emily's veins, propelling her forward, her breath coming in short, sharp gasps. She took a sudden turn down an alley, hoping to lose her unseen pursuer, but the footsteps followed, relentless. The alley opened up into a small square, dominated by an ancient, gnarled tree that stood like a sentinel in the night. Emily paused, her mind racing, searching for a way out. It was then that she saw it, a dark figure emerging from the shadows of the alley, its form indistinct but unmistakably human. Her heart pounding in her chest, Emily realized that the square offered no escape. The only way out was past the figure that now blocked her path. The cold air seemed to grow colder, the darkness deeper, as the figure began to move towards her, slow and menacing. Emily's mind screamed at her to run, to scream for help, but the square was deserted, the windows of the surrounding buildings dark. She was alone, trapped between the ancient tree and the approaching figure, whose features remained obscured by the darkness. As the figure drew closer, Emily could see that it appeared to be cloaked in shadows, its movements fluid and unnatural. A primal fear, ancient and deep, took hold of her, a terror that went beyond the fear of being followed, of being attacked. This was something older, something malevolent, a darkness that sought to engulf her. The figure was now only a few feet away, its presence suffocating, the air around it shimmering with an unworldly chill. Emily could feel the darkness reaching out towards her, the edges of her vision beginning to blur as an icy coldness wrapped around her heart. And then, in the moment of her greatest despair, when the darkness seemed poised to swallow her whole, a flicker of light caught Emily's eye. Desperation fueling her actions, she reached into her coat pocket, her fingers closing around the small, forgotten flashlight she carried for emergencies. With a flick of her wrist, she turned it on, directing the beam straight at the dark figure. The light seemed to pierce the darkness, cutting through the shadowy form with an intensity that made the figure recoil. The air around Emily began to clear, the oppressive cold lifting as the figure staggered back, its form dissolving under the beam of the flashlight, like mist in the morning sun. Seizing the moment, Emily ran, her legs carrying her past the now fading figure and out of the square. She didn't stop to look back, her entire being focused on the safety of light and life. She emerged onto the main street, the sounds of the night a welcome chorus after the silence of her terror. Breathless, she reached the brightly lit doorway of a 24-hour diner, the warm glow from inside promising safety. As she stepped inside, the normalcy of the scene before her, patrons seated at the counter, a waitress pouring coffee, felt surreal, a stark contrast to the nightmare she had just escaped. Emily collapsed into a booth, her trembling hands clutching the flashlight like a talisman. The waitress, noticing her distressed state, came over with a concerned look and a warm cup of coffee. Emily tried to explain, her words tumbling out in a rush, but found that she couldn't fully articulate the horror of the dark figure and the cold that had clutched at her heart. The police were called, and Emily gave her statement, though she could tell they were skeptical of her tale. They promised to patrol the area and search for anyone lurking near the square, but Emily knew what she had seen was no ordinary human. As the sun began to rise, casting its first light over the town, Emily felt a sense of relief wash over her. She had survived. The encounter with the dark figure would remain with her, a chilling memory of the night she faced something inexplicable, something ancient and malevolent. But she had survived, her spirit unbroken, her will to live stronger than the shadows that sought to claim her. The experience changed Emily, her nights forever tinged with the knowledge of what lurks in the darkness when the world falls silent. Yet, she carried on, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of the unknown. And though she never walked alone at night again, she kept the flashlight with her always, a reminder of the light that had saved her from the darkness, a beacon of hope in a world filled with unseen terrors. Let us know what you thought of this story in the comments. Thank you for listening. Join us tomorrow at 9 a.m. EST for a new untold story. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more artificial apparitions.